Hey everybody, this is Rainbow Reviews. Today I'm doing a bit of a looser video. I just kind of wanted to go over some of the stuff that was announced. There is a ton of stuff. Like, I wrote it all down on this whiteboard that I have, and maybe I'll put up a picture, like, on screen right now. There is literally so much stuff. I have categories for them. Blue is Star Wars, purple is, like, Pixar and Disney and just some other stuff. Green is a lot of other kind of Disney, a lot of reboots, a lot of series, and red is Marvel, which looks like it's going to be like the biggest category. There's a lot of stuff here. I almost don't know where to start, except I do. I'm going to start with Star Wars. I may have to split this video up into multiple parts, depends on how long we talk for, but that's alright. So, you guys know that Disney recently had like a sort of investors call kind of thing. And with that came like some new announcements for some new shows. And good God, I did not think they were going to just dive right into all of these new series. Some of them were already planned. Some of them are completely new. A lot of them we're probably not going to get to see until 2023. If we ever do see them at all, because it seems like a lot of these new Disney ideas just kind of get canceled and swept under the rug, but we'll talk about some of those. I've included some of them here, as you can see. So yeah, I'm just going to get right into it. Going to start with the Star Wars series. Now, first up is Ahsoka. Now, I am a big prequel fan. She wasn't in the prequels directly. She was in that era, though. And I have not finished the Clone Wars yet. I am going to. But I do like Ahsoka as a character. I don't know a lot about it right now. A lot of people, a lot of these series, people don't know like a lot of what they're going to be like exactly. Sometimes we do have a sense of the time period. Now, as far as this new Ahsoka Tano series goes, allegedly it's going to be sort of a sequel to the Mandalorian series. Now, when I say sequel, I mean like it's going to be telling the story of how Ahsoka came to be known in her role in the Mandalorian, maybe before and after, during that time period, during the New Republic era. And there's not much else to say about it, except I'm excited. I did watch that episode of The Mandalorian she was in, and I think she did a pretty good job, Her actor, and, she kind of had the same Ahsoka charisma that I've seen from the parts of the Clone Wars that I've seen. So, I'm excited for this one. I'd say, as an excitement factor, it's pretty middle of the road for me. I need to finish the Clone Wars, and I think once I do that, I'll get way more excited for this Ahsoka series. Now the next one coming up is Lando. And by the way, these aren't in order of when they're releasing. We really have no idea of a release schedule for most of these. Now a Lando series, obviously Lando Calrissian is an older character for Star Wars. And it's it's a good move from Disney to make a series about this old character. It's going to bring a lot of people back around to Disney Plus, I think. Because Lando Calrissian, he was one of the most charismatic characters in all of Star Wars canon, really, but especially of the old original trilogy. And I'm really glad that they're kind of bringing him back. We don't know if this is going to be Donald Glover or his original actor, whose name escapes me at the moment. But, maybe both, maybe just one, maybe none of them, who knows. But, and I also read an article where it's rumored that, we didn't hear from Lando for like 30 years, so this could really be set at any time in the Star Wars universe, really. It could be set before the original trilogy, or any time from that to Solo to all the way to Episode 9, and maybe even beyond that. This series is interesting because we have no idea where it's going to be set, and it could really be set at almost any time period in the whole series, really, and that's kind of amazing. But yeah, still, we don't know a whole lot about Lando, but pretty still excited for it. Now, Rangers of the New Republic. This is like another... So this show, Rangers of the New Republic, The Mandalorian, and Ahsoka are all going to culminate in the same kind of timeline or universe. And I think that's a really good strategy because The Mandalorian is like sort of like the jumping off point for all of these series, and having a sort of trifecta of new series, The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Rangers of the New Republic, that's a really smart idea to start those three separately and bring them all together in a conclusion together. And I think that's a really good way to go. Still not a lot of information on Rangers of the New Republic, but I mean, it's a cool title. I mean, I'm really excited for it. Now the next one is Acolyte, and I believe Acolyte, it's probably the one that I'm most excited for, either first or second, because Acolyte is supposed to be like a mystery thriller set in the High Republic era. So that means like Coruscant. And I mean, Coruscant is basically my favorite Star Wars planet because the whole planet is a city. There's so much interesting stuff you could do with it. A Star Wars mystery thriller that just sounds like something that will really grab your attention. And if you look at the logo, I mean, you know, like the red coloring and just the whole design of it so far, just based on this one title logo thing, I mean, it looks really cool so far. I mean, it's kind of hard to talk about these series, you know, as I'll come to understand, because we don't have a lot of information on them yet. Just kind of rumors. They're all confirmed to be moving forward so far, but we'll see. So yeah, Acolyte, definitely one of my most hyped, just because it's the most mysterious, and mystery thriller goes along with Star Wars, and it's something kind of new to Star Wars in general, and I'm really excited to see it. Now the next one is a droid story. Now apparently, looking around for information on this one, it's harder to find information on this one, but from what I can tell, rumors say that it's C-3PO and R2-D2 and a third new droid character on like an adventure together. And I mean, I don't know, this one's kind of a hit or miss for me. You know, the droids have never been my favorite characters in Star Wars, but I know that they're going to be a lot of people's favorite characters, so you know, I can see some people wanting a droid story like this. It just, I don't know. when you give me a droid story as a title for a new show, it's just not as exciting as like Acolyte or Ahsoka or Lando. Just because a droid story kind of sounds like a kid's book, you know what I mean? Like a children's book. It's, I don't know. Maybe it's really good. Maybe it'll be the best of all of these. Who knows? I'm just gonna say it's kind of low in my excitement range, just because we don't know. Just because we don't know a lot so far, and it's kind of vague. And droids have never been my favorite part of Star Wars, but that's alright. Now the next one is Andor. Andor, am I saying that right? I don't know, man. These Star Wars words. So Andor is based on like a Rogue One, I think. One of the characters in Rogue One is gonna have a whole series made about him, and I'm okay with that. I mean, I didn't get to say it yet on this channel, but I really enjoyed Rogue One. I was still on the Disney Star Wars hype train when Rogue One came out, and I think it's a pretty good movie. None of the characters are really that engaging, but it had some really cool scenes, some really cool set pieces, and there was a story to be told there. It wasn't something they just pulled out of their ass, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm moderately excited for Andor. I liked Rogue One, and I like that whole era of original trilogy, breaching prequels to original trilogy, and I kind of like that idea. Now, next up is The Bad Batch, and I know this is going to be like a Clone Wars sequel series about a bad batch of clones who went rogue or whatever. Again, haven't finished Clone Wars, so I can't say much on this, but from what I've heard, the last season of Clone Wars, the last 4 episodes of the last season were basically perfection. All my Star Wars friends, my friends who like Star Wars, they said that those episodes were great and that they'd be excited to see a Bad Batch sequel series. So I can definitely get behind that one, and once I finish Clone Wars, you better believe I'm going to be reviewing that on this channel. Now, Obi-Wan Kenobi. We have heard of this series in the works for some time now, and we haven't had a whole lot of information on it, except Ewan McGregor is coming back, and God, the memes will commence. You know, they're gonna come down hard. I'm gonna be right there to watch the parade. And we also got confirmed that Hayden Christensen is also coming back. Now that is just mind-blowing to me that they got him to come back. Now, you know, Hayden Christensen in the prequels, he wasn't the most talented actor. I mean, I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's been pretty well established. No offense to the guy. I think that, you know, but maybe he's been practicing, you know, shaping up. I don't think he was been in the acting career recently, but you know, he could come back, and I'm really excited to see that. I'm really excited, and I'm hopeful that Disney is leaning into the prequel era stuff in general, because I mean, whether or not you like the prequels, you have to admit the lore, it expanded the lore to a mind-blowing degree, and there's so many good stories you could tell within that prequel saga. And I'm really glad that Obi-Wan and Anakin are coming back. Definitely going to be checking this one out. And the last Star Wars one I have is Rogue Squadron. Now, this is a movie, as I understand it. This is going to be an actual film. I think it's the only one on this list that's going to be a mainline film. Now, it might ended up being put on Disney Plus, but, you know, I don't want to jump the gun here. Hopefully this whole pandemic is over sooner than everyone thinks. You know, we all thought it was going to be like 2 months. It's been 10 months. But, you know, what can you do? Yeah, but Rogue Squadron, I know this is based on the games. I really want to go back and play those games, because Rogue Squadron, like, being in an X-Wing in a video game just sounds really, really fun. And, you know, I believe Rogue Squadron, they're going to announce, like, a mystery screenwriter. Now, that's something that I was not expecting to hear. But, you know, I don't know what this all means, but a Rogue Squadron movie, you better believe I am down. Now, again, no idea when this is going to take place. I hope that some of these series take place after Episode 9, because, you know, going back to the prequels, it's good and all that you're dipping into some of those stories, but also, I really want to see some new stuff with Star Wars, not just old. And that's what kind of sucks about a lot of these series being announced. A lot of them are from the prequels or the original trilogy. Nothing from the sequels. Yep, I mean, you know, sucks. Sorry. But Rogue Squadron, I'm definitely excited for it. And just to kind of recap all of this stuff, I'm really glad that Disney is leaning into the Star Wars stuff more. But I'm just worried they're gonna kind of jump the gun. I'm really glad they're leaning into Star Wars, but I don't want them to lean too much into it. I mean, Disney's not in a great place right now. They're really banking on Disney Plus working, and it kind of is, but it's also really not, because they're not making enough stuff to be on here. No, they are going to lean into Marvel and Fox and whatever, but Star Wars, they messed up the sequel trilogy. I made a whole 30-minute video about this, but it got taken down. Thanks, Disney. Whatever. But, so, it's whatever. So I really hope they're just not jumping the gun here. I'm going to go over kind of which ones I'm most excited for real quick, and which ones I think are going to get the axe. Because, listen, the chances of all of these being made and being, like, decent to good series are not high. I'm usually an optimistic guy, but this one, I don't know about this, Chief. So Ahsoka and Rangers of the New Republic, those are definitely going to work. I think those are kind of in the pipeline. Some of the first ones in the pipeline, just because they tie in with The Mandalorian, which is already underway, and it has already gained traction in the Star Wars community. That's why a lot of people got Disney Plus, just for The Mandalorian, really. And so I think Ahsoka is going to be good, because Ahsoka is a character that we have ties to, and that people have seen in The Mandalorian and liked. They liked the actor's performance, you know, had the same kind of charisma. That's good. Rangers of the New Republic, I think it'll definitely get made and all that, but I just don't think it'll be like as, you know, it doesn't have quite a bit of a latching on to as Ahsoka does, because everybody already knows Ahsoka. But with Rangers, I'm assuming we're going to get like all new characters, all new stories, and that kind of stuff. So, I don't know, I'm still pretty hopeful for those two. Lando could be very far down the pipeline as far as I understand it. It's in very early stages of production. Haven't even cast Lando yet. I mean, that is an early stage of production, my dude. But, you know. So Lando, I think Lando's going to work. People are going to watch it because it's Lando, you know, unless the first episode turns out to not be good, and then it won't continue, probably past season 1, but it's whatever. Acolyte has been described as the most mysterious of all these announcements, and that's why I think it's going to work. A Coruscant mystery thriller story is definitely what we needed from Star Wars, and I am the most hopeful for this one to work out, and I just really want it to work, you know? A droid story, that one just seems kind of like weird, kind of a mixed bag for me. Honestly, I can see this one getting the axe. I know there's a lot of you R2-D2 stands out there, but a droid story, stuff based solely on the droids, like there's that one Droids video game, it didn't work out, you know? The droids have never been the strongest part of Star Wars for me, and I think for a lot of people, but obviously I can't speak for all of them, but I'm just saying, you know? But, I mean, I'm hoping it doesn't get the axe, but I think out of all of these, that's the one to most likely get axed. Sorry. Andor might also get the axe too, just because, I know, Rogue One was kind of divisive. A lot of people thought it was boring, they didn't like it. Now, I liked it, but not everyone is willing to go back to that story. Not everyone is interested in those characters, which was a fundamental problem with that movie, objectively, I think. But, you know, not as unlikely as a droid story. The Bad Batch, that is definitely getting made. No way is that getting canceled because people loved Clone Wars. And they praised Disney for bringing it back. Finally. It's about time. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, this has basically the least chance of getting canceled as I see it. Or, like, being delayed super far because it sounds like it's already been kind of in development for a little while. I don't know how far along they are. I mean, it felt like a couple years ago that we got word of an Obi-Wan Kenobi series, you know, or like a standalone. I think it was supposed to be a standalone film, first of all, and then maybe they changed it. Maybe they'll change it back. I'm not sure. But yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi, that's definitely happening. Definitely going to check it out. Now, Rogue Squadron, that I'm not so sure about. I mean, a lot of people played the games, but, you know, before doing this video, I had no idea what Rogue Squadron was. I know it's like, I think it's like the Luke's squadron in the original trilogy, and that can be like a cool concept for a series, but it's kind of a more niche Star Wars thing, I think, in, you know, it's not as immediately recognizable. It's also kind of a wild card as it could be placed anywhere, literally anywhere in the 60 years of Star Wars canon that we have. So, I don't know, that one's a bit more middle of the road for me. So, in summary, I think I'm most excited for Acolyte just because it's like the most mysterious of all of these things that we have. But, you know, we'll be willing to check out all of this stuff too. I mean, we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. People said there was 10, so I'm missing one. Apologies for that. I really just kind of jotted down the ones that I seemed interested in. So, yeah. I mean, out of all these lists, what do you guys want to see me talk about? I'm definitely going to talk about Acolyte, if it ends up coming out and if it's any good, because that is something that really, really interests me. You know, I'm a Coruscant stan. But, you know, just let me know what you guys are excited for most, and definitely going to split this video up into a couple parts. This one was Star Wars, second part's going to be Marvel probably, and I might do a third about everything else, and a lot of the everything else stuff is going to include older planned projects that keep getting delayed, like Indiana Jones 5, stuff like that. So, yeah, that was pretty much it for this video. A bit of a more laid-back video. Probably going to have some minimal editing here. I just really wanted to talk about this stuff. I mean, seriously, guys, look at the number of announcements and updates and projects that we have in the works. I mean, what you're looking at now is like the next 3 years, which seems like a long time, but all of this stuff in 3 years is kind of a lot. But you know what? We were starved of a movie year, a whole season. We had like no summer blockbusters. Tenet, I mean, I loved Tenet, honestly. I don't know if my review's up. It might be, it might not. But I mean, it sucks. It sucks we didn't get all this stuff earlier, you know? I really hope this stuff is going to be good. I'm hopeful for some of them more than others. I think that's pretty apparent from what I was talking about earlier. But yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know down in the comments below if you want me to review any of this stuff in the future, if you're particularly excited for one of them over the other, and if you want to see parts 2 and 3 to this, or if you have any recommendations about what I should edit out of this, or, you know, how I should make my videos going forward, because my videos have been kind of experimental. I've also had a problem with copyright claims, so hopefully I'll get that figured out in the following videos. So yeah. This is Rainbow Reviews. I'm doing a bit more of a laid-back style. Probably going to start doing more laid-back videos going forward. And thanks for watching.